Reversal of course. ICE's strategic retreat. The Trump administration is pivoting away from aggressive immigration enforcement, signaling a significant shift in policy direction. The recent decision to discontinue the accelerated training program for newly recruited Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) agents represents a dramatic recalibration following sustained political pressure and demonstrable declines in public support for the administration's previously uncompromising stance on immigration.
This strategic retreat underscores a recognition the rapid deployment of a significantly expanded ICE workforce, predicated on a strategy of heightened enforcement and mass apprehension, ultimately proved unsustainable and engendered considerable controversy, particularly regarding allegations of systemic brutality and human rights violations. Furthermore, the administration's revised approach reflects a tacit acknowledgement of the logistical and financial challenges inherent in maintaining a large, rapidly deployed enforcement apparatus, alongside the considerable reputational damage sustained through aggressive tactics.
This shift fundamentally alters the operational landscape for ICE, demanding a reassessment of long-term strategic goals and resource allocation.
Shifting sands, political and operational context. The decision reflects a broader re-evaluation of the administration's immigration strategy amidst mounting political headwinds. The rollback of the expedited ICE training program is inextricably linked to the escalating political backlash against the Trump administration's immigration policies, fueled by persistent concerns regarding the tactics employed by Enforcement and Removal Operations (ERO) and the Customs and Border Protection (CBP) agencies.
The decline in public support, particularly among key demographics, has created significant pressure within the White House to moderate its approach and mitigate the negative public perception associated with the intensified enforcement efforts. Moreover, the strategic context is shaped by the increasing scrutiny from international human rights organizations and the documented instances of alleged brutality perpetrated by ICE agents, demanding a more cautious and legally circumspect strategy.
This operational adjustment necessitates a reprioritization of resources, shifting focus from mass apprehension to targeted enforcement and potentially impacting the agency's ability to achieve its initial objectives.
Deconstructing the mechanism, training and deployment. The cessation of the rapid training program exposes vulnerabilities in the administration's operational model. The accelerated training program, initially designed to rapidly deploy thousands of new ICE recruits, relied heavily on a condensed curriculum and a streamlined operational framework, a tactic intended to expedite the agency's capacity for enforcement.
However, this approach demonstrably lacked the robust training and oversight necessary to ensure adherence to established protocols and legal standards, contributing to the documented instances of alleged misconduct and raising serious questions about the agency's operational readiness. The decision to halt this program highlights a critical weakness in the administration's strategy, a reliance on a superficially impressive deployment model that was ultimately underpinned by insufficient preparation and accountability, creating a significant operational vulnerability.
This shift necessitates a more deliberate and carefully vetted approach to agent training, incorporating enhanced legal training, cultural sensitivity protocols, and rigorous oversight mechanisms to address the systemic issues that contributed to the initial operational shortcomings.
Prognosis, a measured, reactive future. The administration's retreat signals a move towards a more cautious and strategically constrained approach to immigration enforcement. Looking ahead, the discontinuation of the accelerated training program suggests a shift towards a more reactive and less aggressively proactive immigration enforcement strategy characterized by a greater emphasis on targeted investigations, intelligence-driven operations, and legal challenges rather than large-scale apprehensions.
Despite the immediate reduction in operational capacity, the administration will likely continue to leverage existing legal authorities and pursue politically motivated enforcement actions, albeit with a greater degree of caution and a heightened awareness of the potential for public backlash and legal challenges. Furthermore, the long-term implications will depend heavily on the evolving political landscape and the continued scrutiny from legal and human rights groups, demanding a sustained commitment to demonstrable improvements in operational practices and a genuine effort to address the underlying concerns regarding brutality and human rights violations.
The future of ICE hinges on its ability to adapt to this new context, prioritizing strategic risk management and fostering greater transparency and accountability within the agency's operations.